the NFL on EA Sports.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The Panthers take over.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive.
23-yard line.
They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon. Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, the ball carrier.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third down.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And he finds McLaurin. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina.
Locke's pass.
Terry McLaurin, 78 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead.
Ryan Suckup.
Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
48-yard line.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force him.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Panthers take over 1st and 10.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley.
Saquon.
The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, Locke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Saquon Barkley, and they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Quinnen Williams on the stop. A gain of a yard. It's now 4th down.
A field goal would tie it, but they want more. They're going for it. Locked to throw for it on 4th. And going deep for Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Tyreek Hill, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Man open left side, it's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 63 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Darnold completes it, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
One of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Titans nothing.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Pretty move. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
The ball carrier.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
A gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now Joe Mixon bulldozes past him. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Titans.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
The 31-yard line.
Mixon with it. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Got a man, Slayton. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
The scoreboard tells the story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
On second down, Mixon, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Joe Mixon.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
We see Drew Lock in the offense coming back on. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now it's Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. He's not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
First down, Carolina.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now it's Locke. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It's second down.
Another try after the first down sack. Locke, open man is Hill. He's got it. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Tyreek Hill. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And this carries into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it, the West Coast offense, the long handoffs? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Over 1st and 10.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Alex Highsmith there on the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. A quick throw outside by Locke. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tyreek Hill, as the first half is winding down, and the Panthers add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A first down throw, Darnold. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards to gain there, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A final shot before the break. Darnold. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to half. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. 2nd half action underway. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Mixon will get it to start the 2nd half. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Touchdown, Carolina. He goes 52 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
For the point after.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25 yards.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves them with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Offense has to praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
That's good.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
2nd and 2. At the 47-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down.
Tennessee Titan. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
To throw is Darnold. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. A gain of 6 there on first. Back now in Nashville. They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Throwing again is Darnold. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
That's good.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Darnold to throw again. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. He's at the 40. Past the 20.
That it?
And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And the Titans getting set to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Catch made by Slayton.
Darnold's pass.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
12 yards.
On now is the Titans punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Watch out for Hill on the return. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now to the air, Lock. Now they go screen. It's complete. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold-up.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Titans now just about ready to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Here's Hill on the return. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first. First and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
And they give this time to the tailback. They get 1 yard back there to make it second and 14.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a comeback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one. That's complete to Slayton. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just